All right, well, let's get on with the show. And next up is the ever lovely, at least for now, Kathleen Miller.
Is everyone feeling healthy? Yeah. Are you feeling well? Because I have to ask because I'm a nurse. And my mom was a nurse, and I was always so proud of her. When I was a little girl, I would watch her get ready for work, and she'd put on her white uniform and her white nylons and her silver wristwatch. This is hers, I still wear it. And she put on this pert little cute nurse's cap, and then the magic happened. She had this nurse's cape, and it was navy blue on one side and red satin on the inside, and she'd swoop it on and become super nurse, super nurse, super nurse, and she'd go off to work. And I wanted to be like her. So on Saturday mornings, when my mom and dad would be sleeping in late, I would creep into their bedroom and take her cap off the bureau and go back to my bedroom and put it on my head, and I would be super nurse. And I had a little hospital, and Barbie and Ken were my patients. And I made the little Kleenex box hospital beds. And I also made the little hospital slippers. I cut the ends off of balloons and had little stretchy round slippers. And Ken's fit great, but Barbie's kept falling off, because her feet were like this, they were arched and they would never go down, so she couldn't keep her slippers on. But once they got the measles, so I took a red magic marker and I put red dots all over their face and all over their body. And it completely precluded me from ever selling them on eBay. Everything changed though at the hospital. One Christmas morning, my brother got a G.I. Joe for Christmas. And Barbie loved G.I. Joe because he could hug her. His arms bent. He embraced her in passionate kisses on the hospital ward. And poor Ken. Ken's arm was straight and hard, and it wouldn't bend. And I was too young to appreciate that a straight hard appendage in a man is a good thing. So I tossed Ken. G.I. Joe and Barbie ran off to Reno, eloped. The hospital closed for many years. But then it reopened. I graduated high school and I wanted to follow in my mother's footsteps, and I went to nursing school. I went to Salem State College. Any Salem State people out there? So it was one of the earliest four-year Bachelor of Science programs. So the first 2 years were like boring. We weren't in the hospital, we just did like math and calculus and research and nutrition. And so finally, like the junior year, we were gonna be able to go into the hospital, and I couldn't wait. I was imagining like pushing the little med cards and hanging IVs and comforting patients and giving report. But before we could even do that, we had to get our nurses' caps. And that's when you get a cap to show which school you were at. So I went to Salem State College, right? Salem is right where the witches were hung, right? So what do you think our hats look like? Okay. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but not by much. So I was so excited, my first day in the hospital, and so I have to go report to Nurse Denninger, the charge nurse on the med-surg unit, and I see over there in the staff lounge, she's drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes, okay? And so she eyes lock onto me, and she sees me, and it's like a shark smelling blood. And she comes out in her office chair, wheeling. She doesn't even get up. She wheels up with her cigarette. And she goes, "Miller, I heard about you. Yeah, you're one of those college Bachelor of Science nurses. You know what I call you? I call you BS nurses. Bullshit nurses." Here's your assignment. Try not to kill anybody. And she goes wheeling back into the staff lounge and slams the door. And I'm like, oh, what planet have I landed on? Oh, is the demon charge nurse? You know? And then throughout the day, I have to do these things that like, okay, so on what universe would you go up to a total stranger and say, "Can you give me your teeth?" Or, "I need you to save your poop so I can pack it into this little ice cream container and I need to bring it to the lab." Or, you know, could you mind just getting into bed for a minute? Because I had this big bag of warm soapy water and the tube needs to go into the rectum, and you know, it will be just over in a minute, but you had to hold it for half hour till I say when. You know, as the day progressed, I was feeling more and more like a Jackson Pollock painting. You know, a blank white canvas splashed with yellow urine, brown stool, green sputum, red blood, a full array of Jackson Pollock colors. But the scariest thing that day was when Nurse D comes out again. And she goes, Miller, room 334 can't pee. He needs a catheter. Like, oh my God, a urinary catheter. I've only done one of those in nursing school because I'm a PS nurse. And it was a female patient, and it was like I was trying to put the catheter in, and it was pink on pink on pink. You know? And it was like a pink salamander on a pink wall, camouflage, and trying to find the right spot. Oh my God! So I look at my assignment. Oh, thank God, it's a man. Mr. Jones, room 334 is Mr. Jones. So I go and introduce my, it makes it a little easier, you know, you can see where it's going. So I go and Mr. Jones, oh, he was so sweet, and he just had surgery and was having urinary retention and couldn't pee, and he was so uncomfortable. So I said, Mr. Jones, I'm just gonna put this catheter in your penis. And then you'll feel much better, much better. So I go to put the catheter right in his penis, and now, I never saw one of those. Oh, it's uncircumcised. And I can't find the urethra with all the folds, right? So I'm the poor Mr. Jones, I feel horrible. And I'm like just pulling the skin down and pulling the skin down. Like a clam neck, you know, trying to nurse. And I'm like, what am I doing? She's right, I am a bullshit nurse. I am. I can't do anything. This poor patient, poor Mr. Jones, he doesn't deserve me. And why am I here? Why do I ever think I can feel like my mother? And then, what would Mom do, right? So I imagine her cape, her navy blue cape with red satin, right? I had it in my hand, and I swirl in my mind, and now I'm super nurse. And what would she do? And I remember when I was a little girl, and I used to have to get injections for asthma attacks, she'd always say, okay, Kathy, I'm gonna breathe with you. We're just gonna breathe together, and you won't feel a thing. So I said to Mr. Jones, we're gonna breathe together, okay? And you won't feel a thing. And we did some breathing. The breathing helped me, it helped him. The catheter went right in. Urine's flowing into the tube. It's flowing into the bag. Ah, what's that wet on my feet? Oh, I forgot to check the clasp on the urine bag. And now my white shoes are yellow. Really bright yellow. So, like, oh gosh. Well, what would Barbie do? All right? Stay healthy, everybody.
Now I'm afraid of nurses. That's okay. This show is changing my perspective.